because they thought I could help sell tickets before it was declining. What happened was,
declining.
Plays
I'm
drop
coming to your
off.
defense.
It'd been a couple years,
Yes.
and it was declining. And the guy that was in it before me, Jonathan Crombie, was perfect. He was great. I saw him.
From far away, he looked like Eric Idle. I had bad seats.
No, you're talking about Bob Martin. Bob Martin was the guy that wrote it and starred in it and did for a couple of years. The play won 6 Tony Awards, and not the original
and
Tony.
Who was
just
the
a
girl?
guy named Tony.
The blonde
at that
star.
time, I was in it with a girl named Mara Davi, but Sutton Foster was the star of it with Bob Martin, and she won the Tony Award for it. And it's an amazing play with amazing people in it.
But I think the listeners are more fascinated with you.
How did I get it right away? No. Where I had to audition for Greatest American Hero?
It's more fascinating.
And I wasn't off book. That's the key. I didn't go in
handed a
knowing
Broadway
it.
play.
And I had 2 weeks to rehearse it, and then they threw me out. The cast would come in during the afternoon to get the new guy ready. Rodolfo. Danny Burston is going to be starring in Follies here at the Amundsen.
Nobody cares. Go back
but
to
doesn't anybody live in L.A. that listens to this that could possibly No. But how funny is that Adolfo character? How
hysterical
funny was that thing? Yeah.
Listen,
So I jumped on this train, and I did it, and I went up. I forgot my lines sometimes, but the character had latitude. It was 60 out of 80 pages. This guy's on stage talking. There's the intermission. I talk during the character. Man in chair talks during the. My mother said, "Man in chair, you couldn't get." A good character. You're just man in chair.
That's my son. He plays man in chair. I'm really proud.
He's an extra. He's Captain Pike.
I'd be better off giving birth to Puerto Ricans.
That'd be awful. Anyway, so then I did it. And I went up, and 18 people have to freeze. The cast freezes because it's a fantasy. And so sometimes they freeze, and he talks about them, and they had to wait for me to remember my lines. And they were one of the guys was a good friend of mine. He would look over and just Bob, please do your cue.
That to me is the most terrifying thing because when you do a film,
and if you get over that fear, you've done it.
Really?
Yeah, I would love to do another Broadway play.
Opening night of Drowsy Chaperone, knowing you were driving an enormous Cadillac. This thing has been minted. It's got Tony Awards. Was that maybe professionally
one
the
of
most
my
scared
favorite
you've been?
experiences of my whole
favorite?
life. Yeah,
terrifying also. It's like jumping out of an airplane.
When you do stand up, I mean, when you were up and I was up in front of 6,000 people last week, we just do it. You just
but I'm so drunk when I get up there.
Yeah, but you are inflated with helium and your explosive diarrhea. I saw it dripping down your legs. I wanted to put a piece of John Stamos in there just to stop it.
How afraid. He doesn't have much to spare.
You get over fear. There's something about, if you're on a set and you're on a Clint Eastwood set, you got a few takes, but you're on a Clint Eastwood set. It's a big fucking deal. When you were in Jerry Maguire, you were like, this is a giant fucking movie.
But there's always,
it's all relative, whatever your fears are.
Sure, but the Clint Eastwood thing.
Right now, the thing I'm most afraid of is all the gay accolades and your wife having a penis and then attacking me.
All right. Well, I can definitely let you know there will be no gay sex between you or I, and my wife does not have a penis, and you will not be attacked. The water heater is turned off.
Blow my fantasy.
Well, you said it was your fear.
I was just seeing where
What's
you
your
were
safe
at.
word?
I was just testing you. Safe word.
When John
Hermaphrodite is my safe word.
When John Stamos is choking you within an inch of your life when he's inside you, what's your safe word?
Don't stop.
I asked my wife once what her safe word was, and she said, stop.
Yeah, she's smart.
That was it.
Right.
Fucking stop
just
is my safe word.
Don't. I'm just
so
kidding.
You were not.
It's opposite day.
What would you say professionally you were the most afraid doing?
Probably of anything I've done. I don't know. I mean, I would be scared trying to do Full House because I would have to go into a room and just act all cheerleadery. Have you done those kind of things where as much as I appreciated and loved it, there were times where, have you done kid show stuff?
Well, Gary, I'm married. I had 2 kids. So you're saying
but it wasn't made for kids. That Full House was made for 9-year-old girls.
So you had to really dial back.
Hi, how are you, everybody? Yeah. That's.
So you were acting more than people think you were acting.
I was pure acting. That was a character.
Yeah,
that's what's weird when people go, oh, how did you turn from that into that? It was like, well, you know me a long time. I didn't change.
So, like, when you were walking the hallways of the studio, you had to be in that character because you couldn't walk around and go, take a shit out of your diarrhea and a vagina of a 5-year-old and blah, blah, blah.
Yes, I did.
Really?
I had a lot of problems.
Oh, boy. A lot of human resources. Bob, we need to talk to you at HR.
I got talked to. we would go to notes. I couldn't do notes. I would just sit there drawing pictures of dicks and stuff, and it was like
So you were more
I was
afraid
like an
doing
11-year-old.
You were more afraid doing Full House than being in front of 60.
Scariest experience was Merv Griffin show. One of my first things. I got over the fear of performing live. I don't know what happened, but I don't have that much fear anymore about
I
it.
think
Of any
comics
kind.
too, like you just don't give a shit.
Because you know that I'm out there
The
by
shoot's
myself.
gonna open. We're gonna be
Mhm.
fine.
I like the way you say that. You mean your ass?
Yes.
The shoot's gonna, but you're right.
How old were you when you did Merv Griffin?
Pardon me? That's a very loaded
Come on.
question.
How
I was
old
on
were you?
Pants Fever, which was a show that he produced. It was. I was. You're the only person that would laugh at that on this whole earth. You just made my drive here.
Oh my God.
You made my GPS worth it.
Pants Fever.
Pants Fever.
I can't believe they replaced Zemed.
I was
with
on your show
Terrio.
13 times. Yeah, Adrian Zemed got the part in Bachelor Party I wanted. He got that part. I tested.
You
4
auditioned for Bachelor Party?
4 times I tested for the Israel brothers.
You didn't have a chance.
No, not against Adrian Zemed.
No, he was like a super hot, like
Hello,
Italian-looking
I
guy.
had no abs. I was Goose.
Yeah,
I auditioned for Top Gun as Goose. Daniel Stern got Goose.
that's not true.
Yeah, it is.
Really?
I auditioned
Bob Saget auditioned for Top Gun.
for Goose.
Yeah, I know. You said it.
You've heard of Top Gun.
I've heard of it.
Hmm.
You were more afraid. What did you do? Stand up on Merv Griffin? Did you have a guitar?
I did it 13 times, and the first time I did it, I was afraid I was going to say fuck and throw myself into the audience because I'd just been doing clubs.
And did you have? Serious question.
I did well. Yeah,
Did
he
you have
kept
a
having me-
guitar,
or
or is that something you brought out later in your act?
Not the first appearance. The third appearance, I started doing comedy music.
Just because you ran out of like, I'm being serious. Did
Yeah,
you-
I ran out. Well,
You run out?
Yeah, I didn't have much. Well, when I started stand-up, I only had a guitar on. I never would take it off. And then I made myself do it because, so many people told me I was a piece of shit. Larry David was like, prop act, what are you doing? You're funny. Why are you wearing a guitar?
He fucking beeped at me at Tadeo Studios in Santa Monica in
He
the
would-
parking lot. It's a 5 mile an hour. I must have been doing 4.5.
Oh.
The fucker beeped at me.
It's not
If
an
I knew
act.
it was him, I would have slowed down.
He's pretty damn funny.
And he yelled some very anti-Semitic things to me, which I thought were odd, considering I'm a card-carrying Catholic.
Did he really?
Speed it up, Hebe!
Did
I
he?
was like, whoa, no. He just
Oh.
beeped, and I thought, really? It's fucking 5 miles an hour, and there's children, and there's valet stands. He wants me to just motor through so we can get to his fucking spot that
He's
says Larry.
sincere with who he is and who he portrays. He's pretty damn funny.
What
but
year
he
was
didn't
the-
like that I had a guitar on, and he was going to go on at the Improv one night, and I was holding my guitar. I used to sing While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and I did this on Merv Griffin show. And I would turn a valve in the guitar, and I had a shampoo bottle and water poured out of the guitar and got my pants wet. Now, I
Yeah.
tried this. My managers were Harvey Weinstein and Brad Gray when I started.
The biggest
So-
managers in the business.
And then they weren't even, Brad runs
They weren't
Paramount.
even Jewish then.
They were not. They got triple circumcised.
They were Lutheran.
They had extra money. The
Yeah.
Lutherans are hard to. That's hard to run a studio if you're
So you
Lutheran.
do the While My
But
Guitar.
I did. I opened for Gino Vanelli in Buffalo Memorial Auditorium and tried to do While My
He was the
Guitar
third
Gent-
guy in Millie and Vanilli was Gino.
He wasn't, but he's saying, "I
Oh.
just want to stop," which I want to do as soon as possible. But no,
Go,
this
You're
is the
fine.
second hour.
This is
is
great.
turning into,
We're doing good.
I like it. I feel like I'm on.
So you
I'm
do
doing-
While My Guitar Gently
Equus
Weeps
in
on
the
Merv
park.
Griffin, and
But-
the shampoo
and-
bottle opens up.
Right. It didn't work in front of 13,000 people
Oh
at Buffalo Memorial Auditorium. I didn't know that. And I was doing it and no one laughed because you couldn't see it. The guy told me he backlight it, the water pouring out of my guitar. On Merv Griffin's show, it did fairly well. It's a great story. It ends with
How did you
thud.
clear this song? Now you would
Um,
never get away with it because the network would be freaked
Yeah,
out that
that's
you have
a
to clear
very-
a Lennon and McCartney catalog
That's
song.
a George Harrison song.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, George.
I don't know.
Who's your favorite Beatle?
That's tough. I would always say John, I guess.
It's not tough at all.
Well, it is. You can't pick a favorite.
Sure you can.
Well, Paul wrote some things, but John is kind of the shit, and George was pretty great, and Ringo had a nice beat.
I'm really.
I'll give him an 82. I like to dance to him. How about this Dick Clark thing? Are you over it?
What? Why? What happened?
Nothing. I give
I
him
heard
an
he's
82.
bringing back Pants Fever.
Yeah, he actually helped me out a little bit.
Dick Clark?
I think so. I can't remember. I have no depth.
Do you think Kirk Douglas is glad that Dick Clark is gone because now he can be the guy with a stroke, the most famous stroke guy?
Yeah. First thing, he's amazing as
Who?
shit. Kirk Douglas.
As what? As Pike?
Listen. Listen, he's an
He could play
amazing.
Pike.
He could. He's cool as shit.
Yeah.
What about Dick Clark that no one brought up on New Year's Eve? God rest his soul. The stroke of midnight. Nobody ever. I don't think anybody
Oh
ever.
my
I
gosh,
don't think
that's
anybody
funny.
ever. But nobody ever did it because it's not
Did-
nice. And he's.
You didn't
and
tweet
he's-
it?
No, I can't. I don't tweet stuff like that. But I said it on here, which is not good.
Yeah, but he's been dead a while.
But no, it's been a couple days.
He is
but I mean,
America's. He is a perennial teenager. That
he
in his casket.
actually did so much musically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hosted Soul Train.
And he was in the Dick Clark Five, which was one of my favorite groups.
Yeah. And
He's
he wrote.
from
And he
Philly.
wrote.
He
He
was
wrote
from-
Take. He wrote Take Five.
I love that. That's Dave Brubeck. That's one
No,
of
it
my
was Dick Clark,
favorite
dude.
songs to make
I
a bowel
think you're wrong.
movement.
A little bit.
Dave Brubeck?
Dick Clark wrote Take Five.
Okay.
the Dave Brubeck.
I can't. Bobby Clark wrote it from the Philadelphia Flyers.
Very nice. That was great,
Bernie
bud.
Perrant
Very
wrote
nice.
Take Five.
You know what I love
You know
about
what they said? Take Five, and then they knocked 5 of his teeth out
They did.
because he
They-
missed a lot of teeth.
he had
Those
6
guys-
left.
Those Broad Street bullies were fucked up. That was a time of Slapshot. That movie.
Dave Brubeck wrote the song. I want to go back to what you said for real. Yeah, I love that he wrote an entire song, and the basis of the song, for people that give a shit about jazz, or if you don't, I'm saying it anyway, was at the time was going to be in 5s, because everything up until then was written in 2s and 4s and 8s, and
Right.
it's written in 5, and they just fucking named it Take 5, like it's in 5s.
Yeah.
Here's your fucking song, and it's like this.
That's my favorite Beatle.
Who? Bobby Clark?
Take Take 5. That's actually it was about his penis. The song had a 5-inch penis, and he
John
would tell.
Stamos?
He would tell.
How big is
well,
John Stamos' penis?
I don't remember.
You know he's not circumcised. He's Greek, so he's filthy.
That's not true.
What?
Oh, he's been
A Greek
circumcised
guy doing
many,
yogurt
many
commercials?
times, but his
With a
butt
Poland weed eater. That doesn't count.
His butt hymen is infected, and it
And how
flops
do you-
out.
Really? It's
How do
a
I know?
prolapse-
I've seen it.
A prolapsed butt hymen.
I've seen everything he has.
Doesn't once you
I've
pop
seen
the
Dave
butt hymen.
Coullier's junk.
Really?
Hell yeah. Well, Dave actually exposed. Are you one of those guys who runs around naked and thinks it's funny?
I used to be, yeah.
Okay,
Not
Dave
anymore. 'Cause
Coulier
My wife
is
told
that.
me you shouldn't act like that anymore. You're a grown up.
That's not what happened when she came in the garage and suggested, what would you do if I had a penis? Not that she said that. You did.
She's standing right behind you, you moron.
Well, that's not her.
I
That's a
always just
poster
wanted
of
to say,
you.
made you look.
When did you take that picture?
I didn't take that picture because I'm in it.
That's. I thought it was
If I'm
Billy
in
Bob
it-
Thornton in Sling Blade.
Bob,
Do you know Billy Bob?
no. I saw him once in an elevator in Las Vegas, and he had like 4 plastic bags, like hillbilly luggage. And I go, how you doing? He goes, hey, man, I just came from the Wayne Newton show. That was one of the greatest fucking shows I ever saw, man. And he reaches in like this plastic bag. He basically bought the gift shop and the plastic bags, like, how you like a garbage bag filled with fucking Wayne Newton hats and shirts. He had to have
That's
dropped
cool.
15 grand. He goes, would you like a Wayne Newton hat, man? I'm telling you, that son of a bitch, that was one of the greatest. And now he's speaking, and I've noticed, he's speaking in syllabate S's to me, a la Wayne Newton, like, yes, thanks, Bob Saget is with me. And I'm like,
I know them. I've hung out with them both. Wayne Newton was on Full House once.
as Wayne
You got to
Newton.
come and see me. My mind is. I just do a guy
Yours
with
is
headgear.
You're Wayne
You
Newton.
gotta
is
come
deaf.
visit my
I said
compound.
as himself, like, no, he played an Asian drug lord.
Here's my Wayne Newton South Park character.
Did he play himself, or did he play
He played
like,
himself.
a swarmy arms dealer?
He does that. He was tan and he
Bob,
was,
welcome to
he's-
my
he's
secret hideout.
part Cherokee.
I'm part Cherokee Indian.
Do you get a lot of American Indian following on this podcast?
Huge.
Is that the biggest?
It's
you
the
think?
number one American
What
Indian.
tribe would you think is the biggest?
Lenny Lenape?
He's really good.
No, not
He
the pro
sang
wrestler.
again.
No, you're thinking of the wrong. You're thinking of Lenny Lenape.
Oh, that's
Lenny
Kravitz.
Lenape Indian.
Oh.
Lenny Lenape, Ramapo Indians. They don't like to be called Indians, but the Ramapo tribe, big.
Ramapo.
Pachanga.
When you
Enormous.
Let me ask you something. When you go to the bathroom, if you were to run that backwards on videotape, would you be ram a po? Is the opposite of ramming a po? Is the po goes out into you?
No, it's horrible. You
Can
tried.
How much can I go through this podcast and cut shit? I mean, what can I do?
Do you really want to cut? Why? It's fun.
Hey, I have.
When
no,
you do a live stand-up show.
you know what? I'm like a guy that goes in with a machine gun and I just no regrets.
Yeah. Why should you? This is fun.
Falling
We Captain
down.
Pike.
That's me.
You on Broadway.
Yeah, but and I'm Should I promote anything that's upcoming?
Yeah.
What else is going on?
You can catch Bob Saget at clubs and colleges all over the country near you. At Bob Saget on Twitter.
Yeah.
And there's a link to your website right there on the
Getting
Twitter.
ready to do a special in a couple months.
Are you really?
Yeah,
For what
I'm gonna
network?
shoot it. That's what
Lifetime?
I'm owning it. It's for Lifetime for women.
Yeah.
Because most of what I talk about is gynecological.
And it's going to be called Mother May I Sleep with Danger Again.
I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Poop on the Roof.